All right, Hud Mama. Welcome back to the Multi-Orgasmic Millionaire podcast. It's Tilly Storm. And today I'm wondering, have you ever gotten in a sexual experience and you're sitting here wondering, okay, when in the world am I going to have an orgasm? Is it even going to happen? Why am I taking so long? And you find yourself consistently chasing that goal of having an orgasm or getting upset at your boyfriend or your husband or whatever because he's not getting there and you feel like the entire sexual experience was a wash. It was terrible if one or the both of you doesn't have an orgasm. Well, today I'm here to talk to you about chasing goals in the bedroom and beyond and how to let pleasure guide your path to success instead. Because many of us already know that having a goal of orgasm is the very thing that keeps you from having it. My question for you today is, does that apply in other areas of your life as well? Today, we're going to break it down. Before we do, I want to let you know about an amazing brand new workshop that I'm hosting on November 22nd, 2024 from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Awaken the Feminine Within Workshop. This workshop is all about healing your relationship with sex and money, helping you to unlock the path to pleasure-driven prosperity and to reclaim your feminine essence. If you have struggled connecting with your femininity, if you stay in your head all the time, if you have unconscious negative beliefs about sex and money that maybe you've inherited from your mother or maybe someone else in your family, well, we are going to uncover the exact unconscious beliefs that you have inherited that you are playing out right now. And then we are going to redefine those beliefs by creating a new and empowering narrative that aligns with what you actually want to believe around sex and money. And then we're going to awaken and empower your divine feminine to shape those beliefs and help you guide your actions around sex and money so you can create more of what you want in a way that doesn't burn you out, that doesn't leave you overwhelmed, and that doesn't make you numb out or make you want to numb out even more. This is for you, Ha'ama, to come in and actually do the work. This isn't a lecture. Yes, I'm going to be teaching some things before we dive into the actual process, but this is an experience. It's a transformative experience for you to come and to receive the change. So we can sit here and learn all the things, but at the end of the day, it comes down to actually doing the thing. So go to the link in the show notes, sign up for the Awaken the Feminine Within workshop now, get on the list, and I'll make sure you get the Zoom link so you can join us. It's completely free for my entire community. I'm super excited to have you there and to help unwind some of this feminist programming that is lodged in our brains for so long now that in order to have it all, we have to do it all. Well, that doesn't work out on us. So we got to find a new way to roll. And I'm going to share with you how we're going to go about that. So head to the link in the show notes, sign up now, and I'll see you there. Welcome to the Multi-Orgasmic Millionaire Podcast, where sexual liberation meets financial empowerment. Join me, Tilly Storm, top 20 sex coach worldwide, on my own journey to becoming a multi-orgasmic millionaire through the mystical art of sex magic, financial savvy, and guidance from my very own mystical Yoni Oracle. I'm going to reveal how I'm turning orgasms into cold, hard cash. Get ready to dive deep and discover the secrets to living a life of abundance on your own multi-orgasmic terms. How many of you have automatically assumed that the goal of the sexual experience is for both of you, or at least one of you, to have an orgasm? And if that didn't happen, then something was wrong and you didn't do it right. And maybe you're broken. And how many times have we chased goals in our life only to find ourselves falling so short, it's not even funny? I have a very interesting relationship with goals. In fact, it drives my boyfriend absolutely crazy sometimes because he likes to do the 12-week year format. If you've heard of that, it's just a way of planning out your year because most people take an entire year to reach their goals, but they don't realize that they don't need an entire year to reach most of the goals they set out to achieve. And that most of them can be done within 12 weeks with careful planning and accountability. And he likes to do that with me, which is great. It does keep me accountable and it does give me an opportunity to even clarify with words what I want moving forward. But my relationship with goals has been very rocky because I get so frustrated when I don't achieve the goal that I'm like, well, why did I even set it? Because I just don't ever achieve them in the first place. I don't know if this comes from my gymnast background. I used to be a gymnast growing up from the time I was 5 till I was 16. And of course, we'd always set goals then, but I had this pattern of continuing to have a goal, create a new goal, and just falling short. I would always fall short. And it created in my adult life this aversion to goals. And in one way, I found it to be really beneficial for the way that I operate as a feminine being. And I will tell you why in this episode. Now, the way that this relates to pleasure in the bedroom and in life is that when we drop the goal and we center pleasure, this is when the goals happen. If you've ever heard of the great irony of orgasm, it's that when you don't try to have one is when you actually have one, when you're not trying so hard and you just focus on being in the moment, being really present and being in that primal energy that you feel so juicy and alive and you just really let yourself go. That's when it happens, not when you're focused on trying to make it happen. Well, many women can do that. They can force themselves to reach an orgasm by sheer will and certain techniques. A lot of times they're not very fulfilling. We'll get to the goal and then we're like, that was kind of boring or that wasn't so great. But it's the times when we can be really present and in our fullness and our aliveness. That's when we have the amazing orgasmic experiences. So why do we even have goals? I want to deconstruct this idea of chasing goals. Is it really serving you to chase specific goals in the bedroom or in your business? And business, if you're a coach, healer, consultant, it's often a financial goal. In the beginning, for many people, it's making 5 to 10K a month, every month, so they can feel secure that they can take care of themselves, support themselves. It's like the baseline. And then it usually goes to like 20 to 30K months. And there's always these financial goals that we set for ourselves. And when we fall short, we look for ways to improve. How can we create more recurring revenue? How can we do all these things to bring in clients? All of this and that. And all of this can be so maddening when you're doing all of the steps and taking all of the actions and crossing your T's and dotting your I's and doing everything perfect and to the T, and it still doesn't work. This is just like a woman who's trying to have an orgasm for the first time or a different type of orgasm, maybe not a clitoral, but like a cervical orgasm. And she's doing all of the techniques she's learned in order to make it happen, and it doesn't happen. And then she gets frustrated. Well, I want to invite you to no longer chase a goal. What if instead of an orgasmic goal or a financial goal, that we changed the goal from that to pleasure and making pleasure the goal? Oh my goodness, what a mind state shift, right? In Emily Nagoski's new book, Come Together, she talks about centering pleasure a lot. The book is all about like, who cares how often you have sex? It doesn't really matter as long as you're centering pleasure and you're experiencing pleasure in the sex that is being offered to you. And everything else is like a side thing. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, oh well, right? That's kind of the feel or the tone of the book. That's kind of what I got from it. That was a book club book that we did several months ago, earlier this year. If you haven't joined our Erotic Explorations book club, you can go to the link in the show notes and sign up for that because we're going to be having a new book in January that I'm very excited about. I haven't announced it yet, but I have a good idea what it's going to be. Anyway, so that book really talked about centering pleasure instead of centering orgasm. And what if we took that concept and centered pleasure in our life as feminine beings, and we made pleasure the only goal? Women who are burned out, overwhelmed, numb, disconnected, who lack energy, the reason that you do is because you are not connected to your pleasure. In another book that we read for book club, I know I keep talking about book club books, but because they are so good, I just can't not talk about them. But in The Reclaimed Woman by Kelly Brogan, she wrote in that book how being connected to your eros, your EROS, that's like your life force energy, being connected to that life force energy is essential in order to maintain your energy as an entrepreneur, in order to fuel a business, a creative endeavor. And I could not agree with it more because my business has completely been fueled from my sexual energy when I first started my business. And in this book, Kelly talks a lot about masculine money and feminine money, and how masculine money is like the money that you need to survive, to pay your bills, and feminine money is like the money you make from a creative endeavor, and how she doesn't advise that you make money from a creative endeavor unless your bills are already being paid. And while that's a huge luxury for some women, and I would very much advise that that be the case if you are looking to start a business and you don't yet have an established income, because what ends up happening is when you're making quote unquote feminine money, if you keep going on like that forever and ever and ever, eventually you burn out. Because feminine money, making money from a creative endeavor, can be really challenging when you don't have systems and structures in place from the get-go. And because most coaches, healers, consultants don't have that stuff when they first start, it's like pushing the business up a mountain just to try and get it off and going and making a livable income in the first place. That's how it was for me. And I did really well in the beginning, but I worked my ass off. And part of the reason that I wanted to bring this up is because when we're looking to go out into the world and create our business or expand our business, if we are focused on the money, which is not a regenerative fuel source, when we put our focus on that, it's not regenerative. Instead, what if we put the focus on our pleasure? And if you have a husband that supports you, if you have a full-time job, if you're in a corporate career, or you just have money that is available to you to pay your bills and you're in that privileged position, then making this feminine money becomes possible and successful only when you center pleasure and joy first. Just like orgasm. If you have a hard time getting to orgasm, if you have never had one, then taking the orgasm off the table and figuring out what brings you pleasure is the key, both in the bedroom and in business. So how can we let pleasure guide our path to success in our bedroom endeavors and our business endeavors? Well, first of all, we have to be connected to our inner feminine who knows pleasure. She knows what she wants. Deep down, you know what you want. And if you don't, it's because you're disconnected from that part of you, and that's okay. That's why I want you to come to the Awaken the Feminine Within workshop that I'm hosting on November 22nd, because that's where we're going to reconnect with this part of us so that we can become in contact again with our inner feminine, who absolutely knows how to follow her pleasure. And she will teach you how to follow pleasure and where to go to find it. If you're overwhelmed, numb, disconnected, and burned out, this is going to feel impossible. And I know this place so well because I have been there. 2-ish years ago, I was there. I could not find any pleasure in my business. As I shared last week, I was a no about a lot of things for a long time. I was just, no, this, I don't want that, I don't want this, but I couldn't ever really say what I did want. I know what it's like to be in that place of, I don't even know what I really want right now. If that is where you are, then get your little booty into the link in the show notes, sign up for the workshop, number one, and really focus on reconnecting with your inner feminine, because she is the one who's going to show you what it is that brings you pleasure and joy again. We don't have to commodify every single talent that we have. In fact, we should not. I play the piano. I have never tried to make money playing the piano. I'm really good at playing the piano. Some people are artists. Does that mean that they should do art for a living? I don't know. But if you're trying to do that and it doesn't really bring you that much joy, maybe it just brings you joy for you. And if it just brings you joy for you, it's not something that you have to go out and make a business around. It's not something you have to go out and figure out how to commodify. What if you took the things that light you up and just did them for the sheer pleasure and joy of doing it? That is how you create success. Why does it work? Because you fill your inner source of eros. You fuel your erotic force by tapping into things that bring you pleasure. If you are disconnected from your pleasure, then you are going to feel consistently drained and you will not have a regenerative force that consistently fueled your business in a way that doesn't lead to burnout, overwhelm, or completely numbing out and disconnecting in the first place. If you want to learn a path to pleasure-driven prosperity, head to the link in the show notes, sign up for Awaken the Feminine Within workshop right now. I'm so excited to take you on this transformative journey on November 22nd. If you cannot attend live, I will be sending the replay, but you're only going to get the replay if you sign up at the link below and register. So I'm so excited to see you there. Bring a friend, share it with any woman that you know that really is looking and hears the call to return to the feminine within. I know it's something that many of us have very skewed ideas and beliefs around. Most women think that being feminine means being weak, that surrendering and receiving is less than, that it's weak. And I'm telling you, it is not. It is truly the path to success for more of what you want as a feminine being. I'm so excited to see you there, Hamama. Bye-bye.